Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, a simple technique to find your business idea.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Where do great business ideas come from?
A lot of people start by looking for the hottest businesses. It's the wrong place to start. We're going to talk more about this on this show. Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. I almost said the entrepreneur, Mary-Lynn. A.k.a. the Professor.
Well, the entrepreneurial professor.
There you go.
And I'm Mary-Lynn, the entrepreneurial Mary-Lynn.
Yes, there you go.
The place to start looking for a business idea, well, you got to start with you.
And this, Mary-Lynn, is a mistake that I made early in my business career, and I made it many times over. But as I was getting into business and that, I did not stop to think about me first. And that's really an important concept.
Well, we say at Big Success that it's life on your own terms, right? So that's
right.
You are a big part of that.
Yeah, and so once you get into business, you'll be much happier with one that's suited for you. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But too many people end up stuck in a business that they detest.
I've got that business idea of what I really want to do, but then you think, oh, well, wait, I think this would make more money. And then you end up steering away from what your main purpose is and what your main mission was. And you think being in a job that you hate is bad? Oh my gosh. Try going to work every day in a business that you hate, doing a job that you abhor for people that you can't stand.
Absolutely. And, I was my own boss, but I came to detest my own boss.
How does that happen?
But the thing is, if we wait just a second, it gets worse.
Wow.
Because unlike a job, you can't walk away from your own business. You have too much invested. So it becomes really a challenge as you try to get out of one area of your life into something that's going to kind of charge you up. It's really difficult. So getting this right is important.
Right. There's no golden parachute for when you choose the wrong business.
Absolutely right.
So begin by exploring your passions, preferences, and proficiencies. And of course, you can't stop there.
No, entrepreneuring is a matching process. You have to match your personality with a market opportunity. And Mary-Lynn, one of the things we often do is we think about product market fit. Well, this is personality market fit. It's the same kind of concept. We want our product or service to match with the with the market. Mm-hmm. But we also want our personality to match with the market.
Right. Now, first, this is going to sound so simple. This technique that we're going to help you find your business idea, the right business idea for you. So it's going to sound so simple that you may write this whole podcast off.
And you're right. It is simple. But here's the thing. The execution isn't easy. Many people get the first one sometimes. Most people never get the second part.
So how do you find a market opportunity? As the professor alluded to, there's two parts. The first part is to look.
Yeah, you never know when or where it will happen, but opportunity will present itself. So look around. Watch the world in front of you. Observe.
Yeah. What problem would you like solved? What would you buy if only it were offered to you? How could you improve what you already buy?
Mary-Lynn, I was about 23 years old when I started my first real at-risk business. And in my hometown, small hometown, rural America, Americana, Norman Rockwell, all that good stuff. But there were two variety stores on our main street, and Main Street was the main marketplace in town at that point in time.
And this is Paxton, Illinois.
Yes, good old Paxton, Illinois.
Right.
And the thing is, one year, as I was searching for a business, and I was just, I was spending my evenings just studying, trying to prepare myself for that time when I could get into business.
And not to interrupt, but
that's fine.
When you were studying, you were looking for businesses that interested you.
Yes.
But also had a good trajectory.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so what happened was, right after Christmas, these two variety stores, both of them announced, well, the day after Christmas, the first one, the smaller one, announced they were going out of business. That wasn't a big deal because there was still the other one, right? But about 2 weeks later, they announced they were going out of business. So now my hometown was going to have zero quote variety stores, dime stores, kind of like a Walgreens without the pharmacy is how I kind of try to describe it. Mm-hmm. And the point is, that to me presented a market opportunity. There were a lot of things, as people would often say, I wouldn't be able to buy a spool of thread in town. I would have to go 10 miles to get a spool of thread. Now, you're not going to make a killing on spools of thread, but you are going to fulfill a market need with that and a variety of other things, hence the name Variety Store. So by looking for an opportunity and paying attention, when that opportunity arose, I was ready for it. And the next day, I made a phone call at about 2 minutes after 8 to a franchisor who was able to set us up. We were the first of 5 calls they had that day, so we got the store. And that was kind of the start of the true start of my kind of entrepreneurial career.
And you're making it be a mystery, but it was did you say it was a Ben Franklin store?
It is a Ben Franklin, yes.
Okay, yeah.
I did not say that.
Right. Not in existence anymore.
Yes,
but
you may remember them.
They were kind of the Walmarts of the heyday.
Kind of, yeah. In fact, it was Sam Walmart's first business.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Woolworths of the day. Exactly.
If you're listening and you're a certain age, you're like, what? I don't know. What? Okay.
Yes.
Anyway. All right. So now we're talking about there's 2 parts to finding a market opportunity. So first one was look, and the second one is listen.
Yeah, don't limit yourself to just your eyesight, right? Especially if you have eyes like me. Listen. It's something Mary-Lynn tells me all the time. Listen, George, listen. What problems do people around you have? What don't they have that they would like to have? And what experiences have they been dissatisfied with recently?
This part really helped me launch into what is now Big Success, because I'd worked in the radio industry for years and years and years full time. And thankfully, I'm still part of the radio industry, but on a part-time basis, that I choose, which is wonderful. But at the time, I was full-time and I was feeling some inspirational dissatisfaction. Just, I'd kind of outgrown the position and I didn't want to move because of this guy over here, the professor. So I knew that I was kind of stuck if I were to stay where I was at. And I knew that other people have felt that way too, where they have more to offer, but the position that they're in doesn't allow them to grow. And that was my main problem, is I wasn't allowed to creatively grow. So I stepped out from what I knew and created my own space where I could have all the creative freedom that I want. So I would say sometimes I have more than I bargained for. But anyway, I wanted to, use this as a platform to empower other people to do the same thing, so that even if you have to keep the full-time job, you have a place where you can thrive and create a path for yourself to have that freedom to do the things that you really, really want to do. And so that's what Big Success helps other people do.
That's exactly right. And what I hope you're seeing from this is that Big Success is an inside-out thinking. We start with ourselves inside. We kind of think about what we need and what we want and what problems we're seeing that we experience, etc. And we move that out to the whole world, to others. So start inside, then move outside.
Right. So we've talked about the 2 components here of finding a market opportunity, which is to look and to listen. Let's put it together. We'll pull out the professor's whiteboard now for a simple technique to find your business idea.
This is the takeaway from today's show. Too many people who want to get into business ask the wrong question. The wrong question is, how can I make money? Successful entrepreneurs ask, what problem can I solve? The simple technique is to look and listen for problems that need to be solved. Then find a way to solve them profitably, and you'll have a business idea that leads to big success.
Want a simple technique to find what matters most to you? Take our free life purpose quiz. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com.
And we thank you for listening today. Special shout out to our listeners in the wonderful little town of Paxton, Illinois.
Oh, yes. The hometown.
Could resist, Mary-Lynn.
It's graduation season, where you're probably seeing all kinds of photos of your friends' kids graduating from college, high school, etc. Well, we're going to share a famous creed on our next show of 7 things to do in life. It's very graduation-ish.
Yes, there you go.
So please join us for that. Until then,
here's to your big success.
Find Big Success at biggsuccess.com.